Hello, and welcome to Alex's 5 Minute Book Review. This is a channel I'm starting up, and I do book reviews in 5 minutes or less. I don't know, maybe for some books we might do like two-parters, three-parters, etc. But we'll kind of see how it goes and what the audience seems like they're interested in, and so on and so forth. Um, I will be touching upon a bunch of different subjects on this channel. We will go from magic to religion to politics to philosophy to history and all those fun things. Um, so if you're digging this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and feel free to leave comments. I am all down for that. So without further ado, we will get started with the first one, which is it's a small little tract, and it's by Johannes Hartlieb, and it's called The Book of All Forbidden Arts. Now, a little background on when this was written. This was written in the 1450s. I believe it was 1456. So at this, and he wrote this in Germany. What we know as Germany. It was a kingdom that he wrote this in. He wrote this for Johann of Brandenburg, and he and this style of book is called or tract is called Mere Tract, and the idea behind it is to basically show the ruler how their rule is reflected, and it was usually written by learned men who wanted to get involved in the court somehow, and so they would sometimes like give advice to this ruler. Machiavelli's The Prince is an excellent example of this. It's about power politics, and this book deals more with witchcraft and how to identify it and so on and so forth. So this tract, it actually comes out of Hazards of the Dark Arts: Advice for Medieval Princes on Witchcraft and Magic. It's translated by Richard Keckheffer, and there's another tract in here I won't be covering. Probably in a later episode I will. But so for those of you who are interested in reading up and following where I got my source from, this is that. So let's get down to it. Hartlieb kind of breaks down he has a breakdown of the arts, and his goal is to outline them for this ruler, and then he suggests a bunch of that he's going to write another book on what kinds of punishments these people deserve, depending on how bad their practices were. He never delivers on this. There's no book that, at least that exists, that has survived, that we can find. So we'll break it down. He starts with necromancy. And so necromancy is communing with the dead, basically using them to your ends, whether it's to find that bracelet you lost or to get that lover you wanted. Interestingly enough, there's also mention in here of people who make deals with wizards and witches and so on and so forth, that when they die, they can use their body or their soul to achieve these ends. So I have never seen that anywhere else, so I found that very fascinating. And then he goes into pyromancy, where people use fire to scry. He uses aeromancy, where people look at birds and do this. That people have been doing that since Greece and Rome. He uses hydromancy, where people use water, and then he uses geomancy, where people use the earth for this and that. Then he breaks down two, which I found very interesting. He breaks down chiromancy, which is people using the palm to read people's futures, and then the final one he breaks out is spatulomancy, which is where people use animal bones to figure out the future, tell people they're going to be successful with this and that. So interestingly enough, he also attacked superstition. He found superstition to be anti church, and that anyone who practiced any sort of superstition was going to hell and was a servant of the devil. So if you were afraid, if you did weird little things to make ends meet because you've been told by someone this, you were a pagan. And so yeah, he really recommended these people be punished as well. So overall, really good book. I recommend. A wonderful introduction to late medieval, early, Renaissance, that kind of stuff. I would definitely recommend reading this book. And hey, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe if you dug this. All right, bye.